welcome to this tutorial on Igor Presnyakov's version of Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Hashtag tuning.
The first thing we're going to talk about is the tuning of the guitar. So the guitar is standard tuning but a tone and a half lower, so everything will sound lower. The lowest string, the E string, will now be tuned to C sharp. And then the fifth string will be tuned to S sharp. This fourth string will now be turned to B. The third string now is an E natural. Now the second string is a G sharp, and then the top string, the first string, is back to C sharp.
Intro.
So once you've tuned down your guitar, we can move on to the introduction of Get Lucky. Now the rhythm here is a little bit, there's a funk rhythm, and I don't think you need to be too precise of what the rhythm is that you're doing with the right hand. Just make sure that you have your beats, the notes that are on the beat, just make sure they're right on the beat. And then the ones that come after that, they can be slightly off if you like. What I mean is this. So you have 1 is going to be with your thumb, fingers, and 2 is a slap. 2 more notes with the fingers. 3 is with the thumb, slap on beat 4, and the rest of the notes like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now for the next measure, I'm going to go to a full bar. So I actually leave the little half bar that I've made for this first chord, the D minor chord. I leave it a little bit early so I can get the full bar at the first fret for the F chord. And then you're going to do the same sort of thing that you did with the right hand here. Now I'm off to the third measure, okay? So I need to let go of this hand, which is why there's an open string just before I get to my slides up at the 9th fret up here, 9, 10, and 12. So what this is that I've got my full bar here at the first fret, 1, 2, 1, 1. I leave, this is the 0, the open third string, and now I'm going to slide. So first I'm going to start at 8, 9, and 11, and then my open 5th string, and then quickly slide 1 fret each of those strings to 9, 10, and 12. Now, I need to get back down to the 3rd fret, so I've got the same sort of cheating thing going where I play the open string, and then I go immediately to the 4th fret. So I have I have 3, 4, 3, 3. It's a full bar on the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3. Now here there's no percussion, there's just a little variation where I play 4, 3, 3. I add my 3rd finger on the 5th fret, and then I take it off again. So that's a little variation there. So once we've finished the first 4 measures, it's about the same sort of thing. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is an open string. We're now at bar number 7. Instead of sliding up here, you're in first position, A minor chord. Open string, 2nd finger, 3rd string, 1st finger, 1st fret, 2nd string, and then open 1st string, your A minor. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we have a strum just before going to the first verse. So this is a strum, a regular strum of this bar form of G major. 3, 5, 5, 4, 3, 3. So 1, and then 2 is just a sort of slap percussion that you will do with the thumb and the fingers.
Verse 1.
So now we can move on to learning verse 1. The verse 1 pattern starts at B at bar number 8, and verse 1 will be this. 2nd fret, 3rd string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, pull off here, 1 to 0, and then 1, and then 0. So the main theme. And then immediately after that, you will start the funk accompaniment. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, And then after that, you will have, again, the theme that is 2, 3, 1, pull off to 0, 1, 0. Now we're at the bar number 11. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is bar number 12, where I've come again to the 3rd fret full bar, which is 3, and then 4, 3, 3. So as you can see, the funk accompaniment is, I'm counting out loud so you can hear exactly where beats 1, 2, 3, and 4 last. Beat 1 is always a thumb move, and then beat 2 is normally always a slap. Again, the theme part, you'll have 2, 3, 1, pull off to 1, 0 like this, and then often you will have your accompaniment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and then the theme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. This is just before the pre-chorus. I have 1, slap, 3, and then slap on beat 4. So this is again full bar, 3, 4, 3, 3. So 8th notes, slap, get all the notes, thumb with the right hand, and then fingers, and then you have another slap for beat number 4. And now we're off to the pre-chorus.
Pre-chorus.
So at the pre-chorus, we will start up at the first position, on the half bar that you have at the D minor chord. So it's open string 4th, 3rd string 2nd fret, and then small bar on the 1st fret. So the way that you will have to do is that it will start off with a slap and a sort of brush with the nails across the string. So there is down, come back up with the index finger, slap with the thumb on beat 2, and then you will go pluck with the fingers the 1st and 2nd strings. Next we have to shift up. So you will play the open 1st string with your ring finger. After that, you will play the D minor chord with your thumb, 2nd, 1st, 1st. After that, you will play the 1st string open with your ring finger. And then after that, we will go reach at the 6th fret with the middle finger. And then you should just have enough time to get this chord. This is an F major chord, which is a little bit difficult to place. But you will have your 4th finger on the 8th fret. And then you will have 5, 6, 5 as a small bar. So again, you really need to have your wrist to be very low to get this small bar, and to reach around with the pinky finger is where the reach is. The reason is that we have this open string here to help us get up. So when you were going to be playing the 1st string open, you will be lowering your wrist and going to the 5th fret at the same time. Alright, now that we've played this, you will do some more funky stuff with the fingers. So 1. After that, we have a slur. So the slur, you will remove your bar because we need to do a sort of readjustment with the pinky finger. So the hammer on 5 and 7 with a slap at the same time as you hammer on. And as you are doing the hammer on and the slap, you will go and reach for this small bar. This is again another small bar at the 5th fret, but we've readjusted. Instead of having our hand rotated like this, our hand's rotated like this now, with the pinky finger below on the 8th fret, and the half bar again on the 5th fret. So this will happen just before beat 1. 1, 2, 3. Now we need to slide up to the 10th fret. So you will release the bar on the 5th fret, slide with your pinky from 8 to 10, and then after that, this one is a little bit tricky. I think of this more as being a bar on the 7th fret, but you will have to reach around and get the 3rd finger on the 10th fret, 5th string, and then the pinky finger on the 10th fret, 10th fret, 2nd string. So as you're doing your slide from 8 to 10, make sure you are getting your wrist nice and low, placing the bar, and then placing 3rd and 4th finger down at the same time. 1, 2, 2, 3. After that, we have a lick that is down on the 6th string down low like this. Alright, so to get this lick quickly, you will have to practice in slow motion. It's a lot of tapping and a lot of sliding. So, hammer on to the 5th fret, pull off to the 3rd fret, slide, slide again, pull off, and right as soon as you pull off, you see your wrist is in the proper position to get this half bar, which is the 0, 2, 1, 1. That's at the 1st fret, which is the same chord that we had at the beginning of our pre-chorus. We've got our 0, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. Get the open string, slap. We need this time for the open string and the slap to get into this position. So remember, rotate your pinky finger, get it onto the 5th string, 8th fret, and then get your small bar. 1, 2, 3. Next, we are going to have to do our hammer on the 1st string. So hammer on, and then this is where we rotate our pinky finger to get it to the 8th fret. Our little bar is again on the 5th fret, but our finger's already there. 1, 2. Alright, here's where it changes a little bit for the end of the pre-chorus. So you will have some time to get to the 5th fret. You will play this note, this A note at the 5th fret. So you can slap and get to the 12th fret at the same time, like this, or you can block the strings as well to get that note that's at the 12th fret. Next, we have a sort of G major chord at the end of the pre-chorus. We don't really need to do a bar here, but we still have to do the big stretch between the 1st and the 3rd and the 4th fingers. So again, our chord here is going to be 10 on the 5th string, open 3rd string, that's 8th fret here with the 1st finger, and then the pinky finger will get the note that's at the 10th fret. So 1, 2, here we will slide down to 3 and 5, this power chord here. And you can, because it's a power chord, it doesn't really matter what you do with the right hand. You can just pluck it, or if you want a more aggressive sound, you can do the slapping thing.
Chorus.
The chorus will have slaps on every single beat, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I find that I slow down a lot at the chorus part. So I would recommend practicing the chorus with a metronome. So the slaps and the finger positions of the right hand don't slow you down too much. So we're going to be back at our small bar position, the D minor chord, 2, 1, and 1. So slap. And then the last part is a slap where you hit and then you brush across the strings with your thumb and you hammer on with the pinky finger. So 1, 2, 3, 4. As you hammer on to the pinky finger, you will need to release the small bar and come into a big full bar on the 1st fret. Your 2nd finger will stay in the same place. That's the 3rd string at the 2nd fret. And then you will do the same sort of slapping motion with your thumb. So slap, that's on beat 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you will hammer on with the pinky finger on the 3rd fret. Once you finish doing the hammer on the 1st string, we're going to head to an A minor 7 chord. So for once we don't have a bar. It's the only chord in the song that doesn't have a bar. All you will need is your first finger on the first. All you will need is your first finger on the 2nd string 1st fret. So again, slaps on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last one doesn't have a hammer on or anything. It's just a slap and a brush. And the last chord is of our 4 chord sequence is the G major chord. So the full bar at the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3. And now you will release the bar because you need to slide back into 1st position. So we have our 5, slide to 3, slap at the same time with the thumb of the right hand, and then pluck the second string to get this note, the note that's on the first fret, second string, the C. Next part, we're back at the D minor chord. So we have 1, 2, 3, hammer on. Now we will need to get up to our funky chord that is the 5th fret. So this chord here, you will have to rotate the pinky finger, make sure that it's at the 8th fret on the 5th string, and then get your small bar at 5, 6, and 5. 1, 2, 3, release, hammer on, 4. Now for the next chord, I can't go back to first position because I need to do some muting with the first finger. So I will stay in 5th position. I will stay with my first finger on the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your pinky finger is going to hammer onto the 8th fret at the last one, but otherwise it's very straightforward for the left hand. It's just a small bar at the 5th fret. Next after that, I'm going to go to my G major formation chord here. That's the bar at the 3rd fret. 1, 2, 3, and now I have to slide back. 4. Similar to what we did at the first part of the chorus. Now the last bit of the chorus, which is the part when it's sung it repeats, we're up all night to get lucky. You will repeat the same sequence of chords, but in this case you don't need to do the bar at the 1st fret, so you will have just 2 and 3. Okay, now we're on to this chord. You don't quite need the bar again either. You have 1, 3, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, slide up to 5th, and slide back, and then get the 1st fret. Next, the A minor chord. So you have, you can either finger it 2, 3, and 4, or just 1, 2, and 4. It's totally up to you. It doesn't really matter. 1, 2, 3. Come to 5, 4. And then you will absolutely need to do a bar. So you're gonna again slap on beat number 1. 1, 2, 3. On beat 3, you can release the bar because we don't need it anymore. It's going to be a hammer on, 3 to 5. And then 3, 1, you can simply slide back to go back into first position.
Interlude.
So we're at the interlude. The interlude is going to be starting with the D minor 7 chord. So the small bar, 2, 1, 1. There's slaps on beat 2 and 4, and then beats 1 and 3 are plucked. 1, 2, 3, 4. Release the bar. Go get your full bar for the F chord. Leave the second finger there. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can release the bar here and then just play the 3rd string open. It will give you the chance to go get this A minor 7 chord with the first finger's 2nd string, 1st fret. 1, 2, 3, strum, 4, slap, open string, again to give you the time to get the bar chord. And this is just a strum chord for this G major chord. Just strum it a couple times.
Verse 2.
Verse 2 will start with the theme, the Get Lucky theme, which we will play without doing slaps. So 2, 3, pull off, open 2nd string, 1st fret, 2nd string, and then 2nd string open, and then immediately go to the D minor 7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, open, 1, and this is where you're going to go to the F major chord. 1, 2, back to the theme, 3, 4. Make sure you do a pull off where the pull off is marked from 1 and 0. A minor this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, open, and you're going to go to your bar on the 3rd fret for this G major chord. 1, 2. Getting the last note is a little bit tricky because it's just a 3rd fret open string, but you can release the bar if you'd like. It's not a very far slide back anyway. Back to the main theme. 1, 2, 3, 4, open string, and you don't need a full bar here, but you will need it a little bit later on the second beat. So just 1, 3, 2, 1, slap. This is the rest of the bar, and then the theme again. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Pre-chorus.
After you've done verse 2, you are going to do the pre-chorus, which is the part that comes before the chorus. And it's very similar to the pre-chorus that we saw again just before. So you will start with your D minor 7 chord, slap, and do the strum at the same time. 1, brush back up with the index finger. 2, 3, release the bar because now we're heading up to 5th position. 4, this is the one with your pinky finger at the 8th fret, and then the small bar here at 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3. Release the bar after beat number 3. 5, 7, hammer on. Come back to your small bar. Place the pinky finger on the 8th fret. 1, 2, 3. Next, what I like to do to get from 8 to 10 is just slide and then hit. Or you can play each one separately. Play the A and then hit and slide at the same time. This is the part where you need to get your stretch bar. So you need to kind of put your bar on the 7th fret and then stretch 3 and 4. 3 goes up here, 10th fret, 5th string. 4 is on the 2nd string, 10th fret. So again, wrist low, stretch those fingers. 1, 2, 3. Back to the lick, which is on the biggest string. 3, 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then immediately go on to the bar that's at the 1st fret, the small bar for the D minor chord. Continuing on after you've done the lick on the big string, do a slap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, hammer on here and slap. You can redo the bar if you like. 1, 2, 3, and now 5, 12. You can slap and slide at the same time if you like. It also gives you the chance to prepare the bar at the... Oh no, you don't need a bar at this part. It also gives you a chance to prepare your first finger that's going to go on the 8th fret, like so, and then the 3 on the 10th fret, and the 4 on the 10th fret as well. 2, 3, and then some slides.
Second chorus.
So now we've come to the second chorus. It's going to start just exactly the same as the first chorus that we did, but actually followed immediately afterwards by the break. So the first thing you're going to do in the chorus is you're going to remember that you have to slap on every single beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, hammer on. Next, we're going to go to the F chord, the full bar chord, slap, and then you're going to hammer on every single time. 1, 2, 3, 4, hammer on, and use that time to release. So you go back to your A minor 7 chord, which only takes one finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, add the pinky, and then use this time to go up to the bar on the 3rd fret for this G chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can slide back if you like. After you've done that, it's the beginning of the break.
Break.
So the break is actually a really fun part that comes immediately after you've started the chorus. You're going to start as if you were just regularly playing the D minor 7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then next, it just consists of playing a chord and snapping your fingers, and you can sing along if you. Okay, so once you've played those chords and you've got to the end of the part where you snap your fingers, you will do the lick on the 6th string. 3, 5, pull off, slide, slide, pull off. And now, instead of going to play this chord, we're going to play a series of power chords. So the most important thing to do at this part is to make sure that you're muting the strings so they don't sound as you're doing the brushing motion with your right hand. The way you're going to do the first chord is the 5th fret, 3rd finger, 5th string, and then the 3rd fret is on the 4th string with the 1st finger. Mute the 6th string with your 3rd finger, and then mute the other strings with your 1st finger. The brushing movement is like this. The downward stroke, which is going from the 5th string to the 4th string, is going to be done with the index finger, and then the upstroke is going to be done with the thumb. The upstroke meaning going from the 4th string to the 5th string. So you'll see there's arrows on the tablature. If the arrow is moving from 5th string to 4, you are going to move the index finger down towards the ground. And then if the arrow is moving from the 4th string to the 5th, you're going to use your thumb and move upwards. So the rhythm is always the same. I'll play it slowed down. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th beat, it's a downstroke, and you have to add an extra note, which is the note that is going to be on the 5th fret. Next chord, you're going to again put your 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 6th string, block the rest of the notes with your 1st finger, and now place your 3rd finger onto the 3rd fret on the 4th string. Slap, 1, 2, 3, 4. The 4th beat, you can reach over and get a note at the 5th fret. Sometimes I slap after doing every single block, or you can just block the strings with your finger. It's up to you. The next power chord that you're going to do is going to be an A power chord. So this is at 5 and 7. Block the other strings again with your 1st finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last note that you need to get is a note that's on the 5th fret on the 4th string. And then finally shift back 2 more frets to get to the G power chord. The G power chord is going to be 3rd fret and the 5th fret. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the 4th beat, you don't need to add any separate notes. Next part of the break, we're moving on. The D power chord, so invert your fingers, 5 and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Add a note at the 5th fret. Next part's a little bit different. We're going to do the F power chord. It's going to look similar to the F chord, except that your bar is blocking the strings you don't need. And we've got the 1st fret, the 3rd fret on the 4th string, and then the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. So we have a 1, 2, and now on beat 3 and 4, you're going to go all the way up to the 10th fret and do this little lick here. Hammer on, and then back 10, 10, and 8. So fast it sounds like this. 3, 4. Next we're going to do our A power chord, which is the same as before. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do our G power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now finally we get to repeat the whole sequence again with the power chords. So we'll start up at the D power chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The last part of the break involves doing some bar chords and a lot of slapping and percussive parts in the right hand. So the first thing you will do is go to your D minor 7 chord, and there's slaps on every single beat. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, do your full bar F chord. 1, 2, 3, I should mention as well that there's arrows that will show you the direction of which you need to move your fingers. So the arrows going from the 6th up to the 1st string are downs, which you will do with your index finger, and then the upstrokes you can do with your index finger coming back up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Go to the F chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move up to the 5th fret this time. Do a small bar at the 5th fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then move to the 3rd fret and do the G major chord form. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's the end of the break.
Pre-chorus.
Okay, so once you finish doing the very percussive break part, it's off to do the pre-chorus and then the final chorus. The pre-chorus and the final chorus here, they are very similar or exactly the same as the pre-chorus and the final chorus, or just the regular chorus that were in the piece just before. So I'll just run through it quickly by counting where the beats are, and then you can follow along with the tab as well. So the pre-chorus, again, the chords are going to be the D minor 7 chord, 0, 2, 1, 1. The next chord is going to be this F chord, so you're going to have your pinky finger up at 8. 8, 5, 6, 5. The next chord is going to be the A minor chord, so you have open 5th string, 5, 5, 8. And then the next one after that, once you slide up here, you're going to have this stretchy chord, so 10, 7, 10, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going to do the lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slide up to the 12th fret. Next we go and do this G chord, which doesn't have a bar. This 10, and then 8, and then 10. 1, 2. Slide to the power chord. 3, 4. And now we're off to do the final chorus.
Chorus.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hammer on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Slide back. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And 3rd fret. Sorry. Slide. 2, 3, 4. And now we're on to the end part of the chorus, which you will do constantly the same sort of thing. It's 0, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 5, and you can slide back if you like to get 3 and 1. Get this chord this time. This is 1, 3, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 5. Slide back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you'd like more detail about the fingerings, you can go back and review the first pre-chorus and the first chorus part while I explain the fingers that you need to use in those parts, because it's the exact same thing here. Once you finish doing that, the last bit of the chorus is a little bit where you need to do some slides from 3 to 5 and then back to 3, 1. So these parts I find are a little bit tiring, and you really need to make sure to get a good slide. You really need to make sure that you're using constant pressure. And again, because of all the bars that you're doing in this whole song, I find it's a little bit difficult to maintain the pressure when you're towards the end of the song. But that's the part that needs a lot of practice. So the last little bit of the end chorus with the slides. 1, 2, 3, slide, 4, 1. This is 1, 3, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, slide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get the G major chord. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, you can do whatever you like.
Outro.
So at the outro, once you finish doing the chorus part, you're going to start with your D minor 7 chord. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, slap on beat number 4. Next after that, you're going to go immediately to the 5th fret and do kind of the stretchy pattern, but it's at the 5th fret this time. Okay, so it's quite tricky. You need to make sure your wrist is low. 8 bar at the, I do a full bar, you can do a small bar if you like, but I do a full one. Bar at the 5th fret, 8, 5, have your pinky finger on the 8th fret and the 2nd string, and then 1st string is done with your bar. So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you finish doing that, there is a lick that you need to do on the 1st string. So the lick goes like this. You're going to have to play your 5th string with your thumb. And now 5, 8, 5 is hammer, pull off. And then after that, each of these notes are individually picked. You have 8 on the 2nd string, index finger. 5 on the 1st string, pick it with your middle finger. Now go to the 2nd string and set up a pull off. So you have your index finger that's going to play your 2nd string on the 8th fret. Pull it off to the 5th fret. And now head over to the 7th fret on the 3rd string. And now you're going to play 7, 5, 7. Okay, so 7 with the index finger, 7, 5 on the 2nd string with your middle finger, and then 7 index finger. And now you're going to hit, and the hit's going to give you time to go to the 3rd fret. The 3rd fret is where you're going to get this G chord. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The last part of the outro is going to be your D chord again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to go back up to the stretchy chord. That's 8, 5, 8, 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now the last lick is all the way up at the 12th fret. What I like to do is, because we're doing so many bars in the whole song, and then once you get to here, you need to be a little bit fluid. So you have time to get from the 5th fret to the 12th fret. Use this time to really relax your hand as you're going to do the change. Almost like you don't have time to shake it out, but almost as if you were shaking out your hand to get rid of the excess pressure. Because it's super important to not have a lot of tension when you're doing these fast sort of 16th notes. Again, you're going to get the 5th string with your thumb, and this is 12, hammer on to 15 with your pinky finger, and then pull off 15 immediately after that. Once you've done that, get 15, but this time with your 3rd finger. Not your 4th finger, because it's too hard to do the pull off and get it back accurately. So hammer, pull off, and then pluck 15 with the 3rd. Pluck the 12th fret note with your middle finger, and this is done with your index finger. And now you have 15 and then 13, which are both on the 2nd string. And then you have 2 percussive sounds, which you can just do as up, down if you like. And then this will give you the chance to get to this stretchy chord, which is 10, 0, 8, 10. So there's no bar, it's just 10, 0, 8, 10. We've seen this chord at the end of the pre-chorus. Yeah, you see this chord in the pre-chorus. I'll do it again, and I'll play the lick a little bit faster, and this time I'll count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you've done that, we're almost finished. It's 2, 3, and now you're going to head back to 1st position, slide up to 4 and 3, so you're going to have 2, your 2nd finger on the 3rd string, 1, on the second string, slide to 4 and 3, and then you're going to play 2 open strings, and then the finished part is 3, 2, and 1, and then you're going to tap the first fret 6th string, and that's how the song ends.
Thanks for watching.
So if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe below. So you can also follow me on social media. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So I'll see you on the next video.